Hello, hello, hello. Guess what? It's Thriving Thursday. Thriving Thursday. Thriving Thursday. We are super excited to have you here with us. If you're joining us live, drop down in the comments. Tell us where you're joining us from. If you're joining us by replay, drop down in the comments. Hashtag replay. Super, super excited tonight to talk about vision. Just want to give you guys a quick recap of what we discussed last our last Thriving Thursday. Oh my gosh, Sharon was amazing. Literally, I think our our after the live session, tears were in all of our eyes. Like we were it was a vibe, y'all. And tonight I really don't feel like it's gonna be any different because hey Mary, hey girl. Tonight I really don't feel like it's gonna be any different because we have a veteran to Thriving Thursday. She is the one who created Thriving Thursday. She's the reason why we are all here today because I was doing Wellness Wednesday and she was doing Thriving Thursday. And when I tell you this Thriving Thursday has literally took off and just had the had a supernatural vision bigger than I think anything that we either of us could have seen. And I am super excited to welcome her back. Super excited to have her back. She's better known as Align with Dr. Kim on Instagram, Jade Ambers. She got a lot of alias, y'all. But she is an amazing, multi-talented, multifaceted individual, and her vision stretches long, wide, and deep. And of course, we're gonna have my good sis, Fabiana Anderson, who is an author extraordinaire. She is an amazing woman of God. She's gonna be joining us as well. But before I bring either of them on, I want you to share. I see you, Mary, down in them comments. Now go ahead and share this with a friend. Inbox it to somebody. Let them know Drea is live. Let them know. Say, Drea live. Y'all come on over. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. If you can, drop down in the comments. Tag someone in the comments. Let them know we are live. We live. We live. All right, all right, all right. And I'm going to bring Fabiana up first. Let her introduce herself. Come on, Fab.
Hi, everyone. I am Fabiana Anderson. I have my own organization, ministry called Woman of God's Business, womanofgodsbusiness.com. You can click on my website and see what things are going on there. Like Andrea say, I am coming back. I think I've been away for like a month, but praise be to God, I am here and I am doing well. So I thank you guys for joining us on Thriving Thursday. We look forward to hearing your comments and sharing all what Jada has to offer. Miss Dr. Kim.
Yeah, Dr. Kim. Come on, Dr. Kim. We're going to bring her to the stage. Dr. Kim, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey. I am so excited to be back on the stage. Hey everyone, I am Dr. Kim of Align with Dr. Kim. I am a chiropractor. I am a wellness coach. I'm a supporter of Andrea Lynette Prairie, the purpose pusher. Andrea and I have had quite the few conversations. Andrea has blessed me and pulled me in to be in a process where we could create some things, and it even encouraged me just to go further and create some things that God had given me, which we are going to be talking about on tonight. So I'm excited to talk about vision and to share what I've learned so far in my journey.
Yes. Y'all see her. Y'all see her here in the flesh. She said in the beginning when we first started, she said, Jerry, it's kind of like a reunion. I'm like, yes, girl, because she is the founder. She is the person who really established this Thriving Thursday. And before we jump in, I want to do a quick icebreaker.
Mhm.
And I know it's just a little, a little something, just to break the ice. So we want to ask you and Fabiana a question. So what is your favorite movie and your favorite movie snack?
Oh my goodness, she brought out the snacks. My God. Um, oh my goodness, my favorite movies. My favorite movie. Oh, it's a Disney. No, it might be Pixar. Um, Meet the Robinsons. Meet the
Oh,
Robinsons. I know I sound like a big kid with saying this, but the themes around your imagination and coming into knowing who you are as a person was just so huge for me in that one. I like a lot of kid movies because they're just, I mean, adults make them, right?
right.
But yeah, so my favorite movie snack. Well, no, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna think about it. Let Fab go.
Okay,
Let
Fab.
Fabiana go.
Oh my gosh. I have two, and they're both with the same actress, Queen
Oh,
Latifah, Just Right,
okay.
and Last Holiday.
Oh, I
Yes.
love
I
them.
gotta watch
So
Last
I love
Holiday.
both of those. I mean, I just love love. So when I see a good love story, I'm all for it. So I love
Yeah.
both of those. As far as a snack, oh my gosh. Hmm, I don't know. I'm gonna just say popcorn.
Popcorn is the best. Okay, so what kind of popcorn? Butter, cheddar, caramel. What we doing, sis? Movie popcorn.
I love them all. My favorite, let me see. I like black and white.
Black and
Mhm.
white popcorn.
Uh-huh.
They got black and
It
white
has
popcorn.
it has the
Like,
drizzle of white chocolate or dark chocolate on them.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds decadent, girl.
girl, my mouth,
Mhm.
that sounds good.
It
So
does.
yeah, it used to be Raisinets, and they had to be dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. So Raisinets with the dark chocolate, or the popcorn with the black and white drizzle on
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So,
gonna say butter
Kawana,
popcorn too.
Kawana
Mm-hmm.
jumped in the chat and she is a food connoisseur. So she said that is good. So we already know that's one of the top things. Yes, hey. So for y'all, now this movie been my favorite movie for a long time, but I got another one. But my favorite movie is A Low Down Dirty Shame. I love,
Oh.
I love that movie. And
them.
then
Wait a
second,
minute. Which one? Which one? The actor?
Jada and Keenan
Keen,
Ivory.
Keenan? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
It was him for me. It was him for me. I just feel like I did more with that. Like, why didn't they have a sequel? Why did they have okay, but anyway, that's just me.
Yeah,
And
that's
of
a
course,
funny one.
I love all of the Matrix. I love all of like Matrix Reloaded. I love all the Matrix. So I'm excited about the Matrix Resurrection coming up. And
Mm.
S Man, is my second favorite. I mean third. Yeah, third. My favorite snack would probably have to be peach, sour peach rings. I love peach rings. When I was over,
Oh.
my mama used to mail me peach rings and chips. Hey, the bishop didn't join the chat. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? We're gonna have to get you on this Thriving Thursday. Welcome, 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 welcome. So let's go into the topic for tonight. I know we kind of got, a little out there with our icebreaker, but sometimes you got to break up the ice, to get everybody. Yes, peach rings go hard all day, every day. My favorite. So tonight we're talking about vision. When we talk with Sharon, something that she said about vision is that vision is a life link. So it was the thing that gave her life. It was the thing that allowed her not to die. She shared with us her story of how she was at the point of, I don't know if I want to live anymore. I don't know if this life is for me. And she shared how God literally drop vision into her spirit and allow her to live again. What is your definition for vision, Dr. Kim?
Oh, wow. For me, vision answers the question of what do you see for yourself? It is the combination of your sight it's an inner thing, and it comes from your wisdom and your imagination.
Hold on. I want to go back because I heard three things. You said sight, wisdom, and imagination.
Sure did. You caught it.
Okay. Okay. So for me, when I think of sight and when I think of imagination, when I think of those two things together, I come into a dreamland. So what is the difference between dreaming and vision? Is that the same?
Ooh, that's a good question. Now, when I sat with this, I sort of saw like what you see for yourself is kind of like the in between. So let me go back. Dreaming, to me, I think of air. I got this visual of being up in the air, in the clouds, floating. You can dream. You can go anywhere with that. You can float all around. The air just can take you wherever you want to go. It's free. But the thing is being grounded. That vision is what's going to keep you grounded, because we can be all up here in the air all day long, but if we're not walking, if our feet aren't on the ground, if we're not focused on where we're going, which I believe that's what the vision does for you, because you're supposed to write the vision, make it plain so you can have something to follow, so you'll always lead back to that vision. It's like the in-between of the dream and the actual practice of walking it out. That vision has to connect the two together. You have to know where you're going, because if you forget where you're going, then you can be back in the air in dreamland. You can wake up from a dream. Dreams can turn into nightmares, all kind of things. If you are not following on course with it, if you are not connected to even the bigger plan of something, because we can get caught in our emotions. We can get caught in how something feels. And now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with desire. I mean, all of these are traits of being human. All of these are traits of being, understanding what's in our spirit, right? It's in our makeup. We are mind, we are body, and we are soul, and we can feel so many things till it's like you forget you have a body. You forget you have to be grounded. You forget you have to touch things, and you have to be in the realm of things that are tangible in order for something to come to be. In order for something to come out of you, you have to walk through it. You have to push. You have to walk. You have to touch. You have to step in things. You have to put things, assimilate the human body. I'm going back to my science part now. You got to assimilate. You have to digest things. You have to put stuff together. You have to break things down. But if you're not, tied to anything, as far as their vision, knowing, this is what's in front of me. This is where I'm going. I always know where I am. It's like a map. It's like the road map. And the key to going forward is you following it.
Right. I love what you just said there. The key to going forward is following vision. A lot of times when we don't have something in front of us, when we don't see what we want to see, we don't have that. I think what for me is eyesight, hindsight, and insight. So I believe that vision is like three parts, and it gives us all of that, and it keeps us from being in the clouds, like you said, when we're dreaming, to being grounded with it. So with saying all of that, what you've given us, I believe like a whole book. When you went into the assimilation, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, let me write that down. But that was good. So with you, how did you receive your vision for your business?
Yeah, so I would say it came from a place of curiosity and necessity. The way I started with going into align with Dr. Kim, and alignment was I was in a place and I asked myself a powerful question. And this was coming from a place of frustration and me trying to problem solve. So this is why I said necessity. And instead of being like diving off deep into that, because if you're overwhelmed and stressed, you're going to get into a place of despair if you stay in that. And so what God gave me was a what if mindset. You know, what if I could do this in a different way? What if this wasn't the rest of it? I was already in one vision. I was walking out. I was going forward. I was like, you know, I got this degree. You know, I need to take this into fruition, into the next stage, which is me going into my own office, me going into the realm of clinic and opening up and doing something with my degree and what I have. And when I reached something into fruition with that, I got to a place where it was time for a shift. So that's one thing. Your vision can shift. God can take you one place just to shift you over to another place, because everything builds on top of one another. We grow from faith to faith and glory to glory, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm in this place. I'm being curious with God. I'm just like, I get into a place of wonderment. I get into a place of play versus despair. And I think that was just the rescue of the Holy Spirit, period, right there, right? So I was curious. I became curious on how I could play with things, because I saw how parallel it was with being in a realm of healing in the physical. And I just started noticing the things around me and the things within me. Well, God, what are you showing for me to do with this in the realm of the spirit, in the realm of the soul? Like, I'm talking to people and it's automatically coming out of me to, you know, help people with what they're doing outside of the office. And we're talking and I'm getting feedback. I'm understanding. So I'm reading the cues around me. That's another way that God will drop vision in you. All you have to do is open up around it, or open up and see what's going on around you, because your purpose is never something that you have to find. Purpose is never something that you have to chase. It's always there. It's been showing itself to you your whole life. It's that life experience, right? That we understand wisdom and we start putting things together and understanding. Really, these are clues to you for you to come into understanding who you are and what's on the inside of you, right? So right. I'm in this place of curiosity and I'm in this place of, okay, I need a change, necessity. So I'm thankful for the need, because if it wasn't for the need, I wouldn't have been drawn so close to God. So God was pulling me in with the need and the curiosity. I think that was to spark something on the inside of me so I can go deeper and I would continue the course. And the vision came forward. It's like, okay, well, the next step looks like coaching. And of course, healing at the same time, because not only was I in a place where God was pulling me out of something, but he was also healing me as well. It was kind of like taking me up a ladder. It's like, okay, Kim, I'm going to take you through this first, and you're going to take other people through this process as well. You're going to guide them through this process, and your life is going to be a living testimony of these things. So as far as, you know, having that, and I will tell you this too, Andre, it was just in glimpses. And at first I was frustrated with just seeing glimpses of things, but you know, the way God pours into you and shows you things, it's the right amount at the right time, at the right place. Like the things that I understand now, I couldn't have grasped it 3 years ago. Right. I would, and even the things that I am going to see 4 years from now, I probably wouldn't have been able to grasp it if God just laid it all on me. So the flow and the pace of which he has me going, I'm okay with it. And it took me a while to even get to that point to say, you know, hey, I'm okay with the pace of what God gives me, because this vision that I have, I know God is breathing on it. And I know he is the one who is working through and through it. He's working in me and through other people, because we have to remember that, you know, hey, this is God's plan. This is his vision. It's not mine. So I constantly have to return to him.
Wow. So
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Hey, Fabiana, I see you want to come on in. Okay.
That's beautiful. She's aligning things And I'm going to go back to the beginning when she was talking about vision and dreaming. A lot of times God pours into us, and sometimes we have to slowly pour in us, because if we fill up too fast, sometimes it splashes out. We can't handle the input of what he's pouring us, and sometimes we can't handle the understanding of what he's putting in. So that's why he was giving you tidbits at a time, because like the word said, he does not give us more than we can bear. So he had to put things in order. It's going to come, the progress, the process, everything goes slowly. And then you said, write it and make it plain. It then becomes from a dream to reality, because now you've put it on paper. So now you've broken what it was. It was a dream. It was a vision. Now it's becoming a reality because I've written it down, and now it's going to manifest itself. So yeah, that's, you're giving good nuggets. I'm liking this.
Awesome. So I think that kind of takes us into our next question. And I was trying to see, do I want to go into for other people, or do I want to stay where we are? And I think I want to stay where we are. Hey, James, what problem did you want to solve? Because I heard you say, God shifted you. So you were already doing one thing, and then God shifted you into another, and then it became a necessity. So what problem were you solving?
Yeah, so let me say this too. If I were to put it down and say one thing, let me go back to the first question you asked. Vision is an answer.
Blessings.
Vision is an answer. I'm going to say that again. Vision is an answer. There's not only a need within you, but there's a need that your purpose, your presence, your abilities, your personality is the answer to it.
Yeah.
So God is going to show you what it is that you need to do, and he's showing up in you and through you. So for me, you asked, what was the necessity? What problem was I trying to solve? So I was in a place of overwhelm. And the problem that I needed help with, because I was crying out to God, was I was that person. I was in professional burnout as a professional. I was in doctor burnout as a doctor and a caregiver. And I was in relationship burnout because I was somebody who needed to understand boundaries. That was the commonality in all three of those. I needed to understand professionally what boundaries I needed to set. I needed to understand in relationship how to set boundaries with other people, and with my relationship with Dr. Kim, just how I was issuing myself out without any question, right? Because I care so much, and I'm such a altruistic person. I'm such a person that wants to see everybody do well. But I took an oath. And I'd say I took an oath that says do no harm. But I also had to realize Dr. Kim was doing harm to herself. I had to start within myself, and it took God to show me that. I was like, what is going on? So I needed to do things for Dr. Kim. That was necessity. I needed to see me, and God had to show me, this is where you are locking me out of your life. So it was a combo of, what needs to be corrected spiritually in Dr. Kim, and what needs to be corrected with how I was presenting and showing up in the world. Because when I was cutting me off, I was also cutting off God's power growing in my life. And I was able to get a lot of stuff accomplished and a lot of things done, but I didn't even know I was doing some of those things outside of God. I didn't even know it, and they say when you hit rock bottom, when you then come to the end of yourself, that's where God begins. I know God is everywhere and in everything, but sometimes it's like God will lead you even to the end of yourself. Even in that process, I was covered. And I will say this, necessity, I would definitely say, it's necessary. Anthony Bourdain, T.T. Branch, Kate Spade, All of those are three very professional people who are no longer on this earth with us. Anthony Bourdain, depressed, 61 years old. He went all over the world traveling, doing all of this cooking and everything, had TV shows, was very popular. Depression, suicide. We know Robin Williams had the same story, making everybody else happy, but nobody knew what was going on the inside of him. TT Branch, she was half of Miss Jessie's Curls. TT and her sister, they both were with Miss Jessie's huge empire. Beautiful Black woman, very beautiful, 41 years old, suicide, depression, in a relationship. It was said it was because of her boyfriend, a relationship that she had. She gone. Kate Spade built this beautiful empire. She's no longer here with us. Kate Spade will go on that brand. It's set up to build as legacy on and on and on. But she had mental health problems. She was a woman suffering in silence. That's pretty much like the commonality also in those things. People who suffer in silence and take on way more than God meant for them to carry. That's a necessity to me. I see that in the spirit realm and in the physical realm as well. There are things that we just should not be taking on that we are picking up. And it's because of how we came up, how we were raised, the things that we picked up, right? I will say the things that we picked up, because we all came into this world, with imperfect people, and we picked up some things. So in my business, it's like, how do we return to that place where we were just purely in alignment with what God spoke over us? Mm-hmm. Who were you before this world, before that environment you were in, before that person that you were around got their hands on you? Who were you in your authentic self? And learning how to come back into that space so you can be connected to more power within you. I see in the field out here, we look for systems, and there's nothing wrong with this. We look for systems, we look for things outside of us. We need support, we need the teams and everything. But what are we doing internally to make sure, hey, my mental health, I'm okay today? Where can I go and just truly chat about what's going on? Who's going to help me to see how empowered I can be versus, just thinking that I have to stay here in this space of despair. I have to hustle. I have to grind. I can't get any sleep. I'm angry. I can't connect with people. My business is suffering, but I'm still showing up on social media like this. Where can I find rest? Oh, there's no rest for the weary. All of those type of things, these things that we say to ourselves and the way we carry ourselves, those different mindsets that are beneath the empowerment that God already gave to us. We're searching for something that God already gave us. And when you're doing it outside of God, which is what I was doing, it's like you run into the wrong thing. You run into the wrong people. You become a target, automatically. Anyway, it's like you open up to the wrong things. But when you come into a space and you just become curious about, well, how did I get this way? Where did this start? Oh, wow. This drama that is going on in my life is real familiar to the stuff that I grew up around. Or, wow, why do I, have these beliefs about myself? What do I really believe? What do I want to go into? What do I really want to do? And I think that's a question that a lot of people don't ask themselves because they feel trapped in the perceptions of other people. That's really what it is. It's like you're carrying the weight of something that came from somebody else. It didn't even come from you.
Dr. Kim, you didn't went into a whole thing that
I'm so sorry.
You went into a whole thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm like, okay, this got to be God. Because there's different types of vision. You got a vision for your business, vision for yourself, vision for your family. There's so many different. I believe there's 8. When I was doing my, matter of fact, I got my vision board over here, and I could probably pull it up, and I believe it's 8 types of vision. And the number one vision, in order for us to do anything for anyone else, is we got to take care of ourselves. And you flowing into this is so divine, because in this season, so many people are talking about our vision for our business, vision for your family, vision for your future husband, vision for all of this. But we got to focus on, what is the vision for you taking care of you in this new year? You do not want to get caught in the traps of looking a certain way and showing up a certain way, and then going home or turning off your computer and being something different. One thing that I've always said to myself, always, is if something is taking me away from my relationship with God, my relationship with myself, and it's unhealthy for me, I don't want it. I don't want it. I do not want anything that's gonna separate me from my love for my God or my love for myself. Those two things, that's number one. Right there, those things are in priority. And I think those are the things that those people that you talked about, that's what was missing. What was missing was that self-care. What was missing was that relationship with God. What was missing was that community of people who you can call on. And I believe so strongly that we have to get so intent and so on purpose with our vision for ourselves, outside of our business, outside of even traveling. But what do I really want for me? Beyond, the money, beyond, like, what is the inner work that I want to see done in Drea? What is the inner work? What are the things that I want to? And you touched on, like I said, so much, so much. And I tried to take a little bit of notes, but I want to speak to two things that you said. You said that purpose doesn't have to be chased in the beginning, and I believe that the purpose that God has for us, and the purpose that we walk in daily, for ourselves, it's already in us. But a lot of times we're so distracted because we're givers, we're doing things for other people, we're doing things for everybody but us. And like I said, I really believe this is divine that you talked about this, is because one thing that I have seen in your life, and one thing that I have admired, is your ability to bounce back after trials, after disappointments, after things that you thought, this was supposed to go this way. And I think the spirit of resilience that you have is because you do take time for yourself. You do your meditation, you do your affirmations, and you're so organized with how you handle your business as well as how you handle yourself. Can you go into how you started on that journey? Because I heard you went, from your job, you had to pivot, and then, going into this new area, new stage of your life, you're here. But how did you embrace that and be unapologetic about it? Because you were that giver. You were that one that said yes for everything, and you didn't say no to a lot of people. So how did you overcome, okay, now I got to say no. Now I got to say I can't go. Now I got to say I can't help you with that. I can't do that. I got to do this. How did you get that, my friend?
Baby, say no and not feel a lick of guilt about it. And I know, y'all, I'm country if you you don't hear it in my accent. But yeah, and not feel guilt about it. Like, whatever. Like, I got to do for me. I got to do for me. So yeah, this was not born overnight. I tell you, it started in small parts, just small parts. And thank you so much for what you said. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for sharing that. It's it's one thing to be in it, to be in it and actually go through it and be doing the things that you're doing. Cause I've witnessed the same things in you as well. And so I'm like, man, I had no idea. But I will say this, it started off very small. It started off in my business saying no. Cause I got to a point where I was like, the logic started just coming in. Cause you remember how I was talking about the emotions, and emotional management is a whole nother topic. Like we could talk about that forever and a day. But yeah, it's like being a person who has vision, being a person of leadership. I was able to be, God showed me, it's like, okay, Kim, this is what you're doing as a leader in your business. You need to do the same thing in your personal life as well. Whatever I was struggling in my business, it was parallel in how I was dealing with me, how I was dealing with in relationships and everything. So I saw these multiple parallel things, and the Holy Spirit was showing me all these different patterns. And I was like, okay, I got to step back and take care of me. And at the time there was no thought about, a bounce back or, I'm gonna come back stronger, even though I wanted that. Cause like I said earlier, it took me a while to say, I'm okay with the pace at which my life is going right now. That comes from a place of peace that I could not have gotten from none other than the Lord Jesus Christ himself. And I will say that from now and forever on, because I had to sit in a place with the Lord. I had to sit in a place of peace that did not come from the world. It didn't come from, some type of coping mechanism or sitting in a therapist's office or nothing like that. It came internally from within me. So being in a place where I got to a point where I was saying no, in my business brain was like, look, these people are coming in here. Their insurance only covers X and Y. You are giving these people X, Y, and Z. You need to charge them for X, Y, and Z. But I've been doing that for so long. It's like, no, they're supposed to pay. Insurance guidelines says this, and this is what they say. And also, you have your competitors. People will come in and say, well, I don't have to pay this at them. Baby, I got real bold and said, well, that's not the way we do things around here. Yes, this was how it was done before, but this is what the guidelines said. I always would refer it to something outside of myself that we both could agree on. It's like, hey, I agree as a healthcare professional to these guidelines, and you as a person purchasing insurance services, you agree to these services. So I am going to uphold my agreement and you are. And they started leaving, right? And I was okay. I knew when the silence was there, and I say silence because the services that I was doing with people slowed down. And that's an indicator right there. When people stop coming to you for things and you starting to charge for it, they let you know that they were not there because they respected you. They were not there, and they're not. It's parts of things that you have to move out so you can get to the whole. I'm gonna say that again. It's parts of things that you have to remove from your life, that you have to stop engaging with so you can fully engage with the wholeness that is for you, whether that's in business, whether that's in love, whether that's in you and your physical relationship with yourself, your relationship with your heavenly Father. If you are starting a spiritual soul journey with the Lord Jesus Christ, you have to remove the parts so you can fully experience the whole. And some people, we are not ready to fully understand or receive the whole because we so used to the parts. We're so used to little bitty things. And so understanding that I deserved more started with that part in my business, with me logically saying, this makes no sense. This has to come in here in order for me to keep my overhead going. So I have to let in what's supposed to be let in. And I started confessing to myself, this is where I got into power. For every one person that says no to me in here, 2 more people are going to come in. And I promise you, this is where faith came in. I spoke it and I started seeing it.
Wow. I want to say something real quick. When setting boundaries, when you start setting those no's. And when you start doing that, you see who was taking advantage and trying to manipulate you. You see who was trying to use your yes as their open door to whatever they want. And the people who didn't want, or who understand, who say, okay, is she setting a boundary? Okay, now I want to continue to work with her because I agree she should set this boundary. Matter of fact, if some people probably told you, you're doing too much for me. Some people probably was like, hold on, I need to pay you a little bit more. I need to give you a little bit more. And those are the people that you want in your life. And I believe something that Kawana just said, it is one of the places of freedom where you say, okay, you wasn't even my client or my customer from the beginning. You are free to leave. The door is what? Open.
Mm-hmm.
And in friendships, even family members, hallelujah.
Come on.
Even co-workers. Some people don't have the liberty to say that, but for me, I can say that. Even anybody, if this person does not respect your boundaries, they have an open invitation to the door. If you do not expect it, go ahead. Bye-bye. And the one thing I think that we can see with vision is vision allows you to be more detail oriented to what you want and what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
And then because you're co-laboring with God, like you said so many times, like nobody but the Lord. None of this could have happened if it wasn't for God. He was my CEO. He was my COO. He was the one who was the captain of my ship. And because of who he is and because of how he, I believe, ordains vision in our life, it gives us, like I said, that hindsight, that insight, and that foresight for us to see, okay, because they're leaving, 3 more is coming. Okay, because I've cut the fat and I've been able to, let go of this. Okay, I've opened the door for more because I've allowed myself to have that free time, because I'm not drained from my day, because I'm not feeling like emotionally burnt out anymore, which is another freeing place. Because I've walked in all these places of freedom, I'm able to receive more. And one thing that I will say, hey, Dr. Omar, one thing that I would say is that, like I said, I've seen you on your journey and I've seen so much. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here today, because I feel like a lot of times when we talk about vision, we miss this part. And I meant to add this in my questions, but I didn't. And I meant to go back into it, but you just went right into it. That's why I said, I was like, this is divine. This is God. I was supposed to put it in the chat, but I didn't. But it's so divine. And I if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining. I feel like this needs to be a part 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, because Dr. Kim has went into so many different avenues. I'm like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is gonna be a whole show. So I am going to be doing I'm gonna be rewatching this and seeing, like, okay, what can I take from this to kind of add to our January and forward for Thriving Thursday. And I just want to say thank you, Dr. Kim, for saying yes. I know you have a busy schedule. I know she be doing so much with her new job and with her new things that she has going on. And I just wanted you to share before we end what you have coming up next. Where can the people find you? And if they want to book you, where's the booking information?
Well, praise God. So for right now, what we're doing is we're working on our challenge. Oh, I want to read that. Okay. What you say? It's unnecessary stress taking on people who are not a part of our tribe. Okay. I love you. And I also realize I am not called to you. Okay. Set the standard.
Just preached. Go ahead.
She really did. I'm gonna have to go back because y'all dropping like nuggets in the comments, man. Yeah, I'm going back through to say hey to everybody. But yeah, so I am mainly on Instagram at Align with Dr. Kim. I also have a Facebook page. I'm revamping some stuff in my self-development and professional growth group, Mindful Bosses, in here as well. We're putting out some more things in there. We're going to get a mindset challenge going in that one. I'll be releasing more information in there because it is open to anybody, but it's mainly going to be in that group, Mindful Bosses. And then in January, I'm in the works of doing.
Did you freeze? Or is it me?
She froze.
Okay. Well, while she is probably going to come back in, Fabiana, if you want to have something, I know I just talking. You can go ahead and you can say something from what you heard from on tonight.
I just want to go back on the question where you said, what was her organization trying to solve? And I was going to go and say, a lot of times what God gives us to help resolve for others, for ourselves, is to help others as well. So a lot of times, we're thinking God is pouring into us. We don't need to hold it hostage. We get information, whether it's from God or from other people, we need to share it out abroad because it is very helpful. And that's what God gives us this information for, is to share it, because we don't want anybody lacking for anything. So share it. That's what it's for. The resolution to resolve issues that's what it's for. And I think we went on the topic of people being in the mentality of staying the same with just a little bitty pieces. A lot of times, like the dog, we don't want to be so comfortable with just eating the crumbs when God is trying to offer us a whole loaf, or even the bread factory. He's trying to offer us something bigger, and we're accepting and so acceptive to just a little bitty stuff, thinking that's all we're worth, or that's all we're good enough for. But no, our mindset needs to change, because there's more out there. And in order for you to get over that hump, fear, I know, is number one. We're fearful of stepping out. Self-care, we're taking on too much of unnecessary stuff, and we can't step out. So a lot of times we need to let go so we can allow God to be the head, the pilot of our food. And stop trying to take over, and stop trying to force things where they don't need to be. The purpose, like you said, is already in us. We just need to move some of the negativity and some of the noise and all that other nonsense from around us in order to get the correct answer and hear God speak to us about our purpose.
Yes, I love everything that you said. I think somebody in the comments said bread factory. Yes. So one thing that I wanted to ask you, Fabiana, as we, try to go towards the end, is if you could take one thing from what she has said on tonight to add to your kind of like putting into your storehouse, that you're gonna implement after today, what's one thing that you could say? And you in the comments,
to say, huh?
I said, and them in the comments, y'all answer that too. In the comments, y'all answer that question.
One thing for sure is learning to say no. We have to be accountable for ourselves. We can't, what people do to us is what we allow them to do to us. So if they can't respect us, if they can't appreciate us, we have to say no. And we have to be at peace with it, because now we have to be comfortable in the sovereignty of God. It has nothing to do with them. This is all a relationship between me and God, and what his purpose is for my life. So I have to learn to say no, whether it's to my child, whether it's to my boss, whether it's to the leading lady. It doesn't matter who the no goes to. I have to set a standard, because if I, like you said, don't take care of me, I can't help anybody else. So yeah, self-care.
Liz, when you get on that plane, what they say, put on your mask first, then help the person. I love how that analogy goes with everything in our life. Like, you got to put on your mask first before you can try to help somebody else. millionaires. You got to take care of you first before you can actually try to help somebody take care of them. So as we, like I said, we're coming to a close. We was getting some information from Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim, if you could tell us real quick, just one more time, just the last couple things about
My ear is itching.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying follow me on At Align with Dr. Kim. That's on Instagram. And I was talking about how I got a group on Facebook called Mindful Bosses. Just go ahead and get into that one. That's where I will be doing all of my announcements and everything. I'm in the works of working with a few other internet personalities to bring to the space a conversation about coping mechanisms. We all work with mindset, but understanding, ways of right thinking and how we can realign ourselves going into the new year. That's something that I want to bring to people, and also to bring awareness of, hey, there are professionals out here, because everybody's not going to go to a therapist, and nor does everyone have positive experiences with therapists. Not that there's anything wrong with therapy. I just know that there are other resources out here, because sometimes you need a therapist and a coach. Sometimes you need somebody who has more experience on a level on professional counseling, and sometimes you need also somebody to help you with that accountability piece, and a person to help you fill in the gaps while you're also getting the help, the professional attention that you need. So I wanted to be able to bring people together in a space like that, because yeah, like I said, it's time to stop suffering in silence. It's time to stop sabotaging yourself and realizing that, hey, I need to clean up my thinking about some things. You ladies were so wonderfully talking about self-care and how you have to set the standard in your life. You also need to understand what your core values and your core beliefs are, because if you don't believe you're worthy, and if you don't even know that deep down inside you're having trouble with that, and a part of you that has not been validated or placed in authority, if you have not stood in a place of authority in that part of yourself, it's going to trickle over in other parts of your life, like I was talking about in mine in an earlier portion of the session, how it can be parallel in your life, in your business, and in your relationship. So I wanted to bring people together in a space where we can understand, what resources are available to us and what we can do to get help.
Love it. Okay, so the last question I didn't hear you answer was booking information. How can someone book you? How can they? Was it email? What do they need to do?
Yeah, so booking information, I'm working on that as well. So, I mean, we can do a DM on Instagram. That's probably like the fastest way to contact me. If somebody is like, hey, I really heard you and I like what you're doing. What are you offering? I do have one-on-ones, but they are for particular people. And we go through a process of seeing if you're somebody that's a great fit for me, because I have some limited spots for that, not a whole lot. But the DM on Instagram is like the best way to catch me.
All right. Fabiana, did you have any other question or anything else that you wanted to say, Dr. Kim, before we get off?
No, wonderful segment. Thank you, Dr. Kim. And yes, self-care and counseling is what I'm about to start doing for myself.
Awesome. I am so glad to hear that. I really am. And thank you for saying that too, and coming on that space, because I think, even admitting that out loud and saying, hey, I'm about to do something for myself. It's not about how it sounds or what y'all think. I am standing in a space for me, and that gives other people permission to do it, subconsciously, without them even realizing. It's like, what? Yeah, I do need to do things for myself as well too. So I know your journey is continuing and is about to be even more amazing as God displays his power and grace and abundance in your life even more, because what is happening to you also happens through you. It's also like a birthing process of going out through into other people, whether that be your words, your written words and books, and speaking and encouraging, because I know you are a powerful encourager as well to people. And it's in such a
Oh my God. I remember hearing you sing and I was like, anything that woman do, she just, come on, it's just a vein full of glory of God. And I'm just excited for you. I really am. So my goodness. I mean, I just got the chills talking about it right now. So so praise God. But yeah, thank you for saying it and sharing it. And I will say too, you know, just thank you to both of you all and for this platform, for continuing and for just sharing so many beautiful people with the world, having such life-changing, world-changing conversations to push people, to pull them through, to my God, just cause them to thrive in life in all areas. It's not just in one area. So yes, Andrea, you and your empire continue to reign, honey.
Listen, we got a comment right here that says spiritual, emotional, mental, and then manifest itself physically, socially, relationally, and financially. That right there, I had to keep it up on the screen because that's another word in the comments from our sister Samantha. When I tell you, y'all is tag teaming in the comments with the preaching. But because Dr. Kim had pointed out that Fabiana and somebody had said, you know, Dre, you might need to implement a singing portion. So Fabiana, do you want to close us out with a song? Right, like what? You could just do it. Just do it. Just amen. Just do amen. Just do amen. Just amen. Just sing amen. Sing it out. Let's go.
Just say amen.
Just sing
amen. On my good days, I'll weigh my bad days. I won't complain.
Oh, y'all, that was just a snippet. I'm gonna prepare her next time. I'll have a singing portion. Somebody said I need to have a singing portion, so I said, you know what?
Amen.
I didn't agree immediately, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe we do got a singer on here, so
oh my Lord,
we gonna go ahead and end it. But we want to just say thank you to all of our viewers in the comments. Y'all been showing out and showing up tonight, and we love it when you do that. Again, Dr. Kim, thank you for coming. Fabiana, you're my heart. I just sending a lot of love and hugs. Oh my gosh, just squeezing you through these virtual internet streets. One thing that I want to always leave with you, everyone who's watching, and even my two beautiful people who I have on the screen with me, is don't stop having the tough conversations. You're one conversation away from living the life of your dreams. The conversation that you have is the conversation that can save your life. So don't stop having those tough conversations. Don't shy away from them. Hit them head on. It's something that I continue to tell myself, and it's something that I continue to have to remember. Drea, this is your slogan, so you're going to have to be the first one to be the first implementer of it. So y'all pray for me as I pray for you. Have an amazing day. We will see you, I believe, after Christmas. So I want to tell everyone to have a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. And we will see you on December 30th. So come back. It's going to be our last show for the year. You know, we're going to try to do a little banger. So y'all don't want to miss our last show for 2021, Thriving Thursday. Have an amazing night. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.